Rock me. There we go. I'm not going to be able to vouch for the sequence probably, but pretty confident in the accuracy. Alright. So. Alright, that's what we're going to learn first. So, now I got it up here on the, you're more than welcome to grab it down here. And I'll show you here in a minute. So we're going to start off grabbing A major, 7th fret of the D string, 6th fret of G. Here we go, 7th of D, 6th of G, 5th of B. Now as an alternate, you can grab that just on the 2nd frets of the B and G string. Strings, and it is right in the pocket, but and we will use that. But starting out, that's where I hear it. But like I said, you can grab it down here. Same notes as we're grabbing here, just thinner. Alright, on that first one we're just kind of raking up on those 2nd frets on the D and G string. Let's just do that, B and G, or D and G, sorry. So we'll go from 2nd fret of the G down to the 4th fret of the D. We'll go 2-4 on the D string. We'll come back. Same deal. And we're just going to walk down 4-2 on the D string this time. Back to it. Up here the 14 and the 16th fret of the G string. We're going to rake up on the 16th frets there of the A and D. Right? Maybe that's just one. A little vibrato there. Back again. Maybe I'm getting that backwards. Anyway, I think it goes back down again. Alright. Just grabbing an octave there, 7th fret of the D string, and the 10th fret of the B. So we're going to grab it 7 and 10, G up there. We slide down 1 fret to the 9th. Same pattern down to the 7th. Right? And now we're just going to hit the 4th fret of the D string, rake up to the 2nd fret of the G. Grab the 4th fret to the B and G. I believe that's it. So. come to the verse. Grabbing that fourth fret on the D string. Now again, grab it that way too if you're going to stick to that. You want to use that particular area. You're going to use that anyway, so fourth fret of D, sixth fret of G, fifth fret of B. Just kind of a little shuffle there. And walk into that major A to B. Now we're going to come down and grab those second frets of B and G up to the fourth frets of B and G. Excuse me. Back to that 14th, 16th fret on the G string. Come back to the... I don't think I missed anything in there. This one here, you got two taps. Some vibrato on there. Still working on the transition here. Anyway, I like it better with the F sharp minor there. What I like is just how I hear it. So we're grabbing 11th frets there on the D and G string, and the 10th fret on the B string. We're going to come down here and make a 7th frets on the E and B, 8th fret on the G, finishing up on the 9th frets of D and G. Right? Maybe just leave that E string off. Just grab the 7th fret of B and the 8th fret of G. Right? 11th frets D and G with the 10th fret of B. Down here, we're just grabbing the 7th fret of B and the 8th fret of G. And you get that shit as thin as you can. You turn your pick flat on the long side there. Don't make no fucking sense probably, but instead of plucking it with the exact point, making it real sharp. Anyway, or just ignore me and do it your way. But anyway, alright, here we come down here. Have the 2nd frets, the B and G, G and B, 4th fret of the D, and here I almost want to do a hybrid pick thing there, but if you break up on these, it'll sound a little muddy if you're coming down on the downstroke. Anyway, you got that? We're going to just bar the 2nd fret on the D, G, and B strings. I got a twang on my B. 2nd fret bar, D, G, and B strings, A major. We'll grab the 2nd fret of the A string, 1st fret of the D, 2nd fret of the G. Come up here to an open D. chord. Open D string, second fret of G, third fret of B. And here, for that transition, we're going to grab the second fret of the D, first fret of G, and an open B. Back into our original position, or original chord. There's a hammer on right there. Comes back to that shuffle. You come into that again. Fourth fret of D up to the second fret of G. Grab both of them at the fourth fret, B and G. And there's a hold. And you're just hammering on. Keeping that on that fourth fret. Hammering on, 4, 5, back to 4, pull off. Down to 2 and 4. We'll go back to that 4-2 on D. You really got to hold that. He pops it off the last minute. Alright, we're coming through at 14 and 16 again on the G string. Right up there on the 16th of A and D. Bend up that G string on 16, come up and catch a 17th fret with a B. I'm going to release that. Right? Right? Bend, release. Kind of a 2 count there on that bend and release. Right? We're going to break up on 16 again on A and D. Finish up on the 14th fret of D. There's some whammy bar on there. You listen to it real close. Ends it down, it goes in and out there. Or it could be a tremolo effect. I don't know, it sounds like a whammy bar. So. Alright, and we're back to the verse. Yeah, we're still in that. And then it just goes right to the. Right? I don't think there's any of that on that verse. So we come into that, we do the. I think it's an abbreviated kind of verse. Come back to that same. And the thing. And once we lead to the. And on that part, after you come off that blues chord on the B note, second fret of A, that's when your guitar comes in electric, I think. I think I'm going to do this dry, so I'm not going back and forth between shit, because right after the thing we're going back to a slow part. So instead of going to the, ooh, not that at all. Alright, to show it where the guitar in the background's going, and then we'll do the lead part. So we'll come in with a power chord there on the 9th fret of A. And come down to the 4th fret to the 5th fret power chord. Make a power chord on the 4th fret of the D string. Take it up to the 7th fret of the D string. Down to the 7th fret of the A. So we come here, 9th fret, 4, 5. Jump up a string of the D string. 4, 7 on D, down to 7 on the A. Lead part. Make sure you get the, so still staying with that power chord there. I think maybe. Just want to grab the 9th fret there, bar that on the D, G, and B string. G, B, and E. And grab the 10th fret there on the A string or the B string. It's an A note. Kind of doing that same kind of rake thing that we were doing. Just want to make sure you get the top notes to ring. If you get that G note in there too, that's all right. Now we're going to grab the 11th frets of the D and G. I think it makes sense to grab that whole chord, so we'll grab the D and G on the 11th. We're going to go back to the 9th fret bar, with 10th fret on the B string. We're going to grab that 10 on it though, on the B. When we come back, it's the 9th frets there on D and G. You don't want to catch that B at all. You just do it that way too. There's not really a lot of separation there though. You can also just leave your finger on the 11th fret. Make you a major chord. That don't sound bad either. Or, all right. Bar chord there, or power chord from 5 to 7 on A. Here, you can do it two ways here. Just grab the bar there on the D, G, and B strings, and grab again that 10th fret on B this time. So we're just going. Right? So just rake up there, pull off on that, pluck that 10 to 9, then walk up on D to G, or a little tougher to grab that way, but if you're getting that full A chord there, that's what it sounds like. It seems hard to grab that son of a bitch though. Anyway, so now we're grabbing a power chord shape on the 7th fret of D. Grabbing that 10th fret again still. Okay. So doing that, then just keeping that, dropping our finger down there in the 7th. That's a lot easier here because we're still getting the same tone. This sounds like it's a power chord over that. Anyway. Then it's just back to the thing. Alright. We go from there on the end up there to come back to that verse. We'll go 5, 7 power chord on A. Back to the 2nd fret of A, power chord. For some reason, after every chorus, I don't know, maybe I should look a little deeper before I fucking gave this lesson, but there's just a fucking F sharp out of there, coming out of nowhere, clean tone. on every chorus, I'm pretty sure. So. And we're back into the. Actually, not yet. We're still just shuffling with the bass, I think. But then we come into. That's what it is. So anyway, so we're hitting that 15th fretted B. I'm going to bend up the 14th fret. Oh shit, 17th fret of B. That 16th fret of G. We'll bend that up. Maybe it is up down. We'll go 16th fret of G, 14, 16 on D. That makes more sense because we'll come back to our F sharp. Yeah. It's real faint right before around the time that fucking harmonica comes in. Then we're back to the. And this time we're just gonna grab the 2nd frets of D and G up to the 4th frets of D and G. I think it's cut short again. Back into it again. That's it. One thing other than that is maybe coming into the chorus. That's another one where it does it right before the solo. It's just a power chord there on the 4th fret, the 5th fret, and that's when that comes in there before the chorus and after the or before the solo and shit. I think that's it. Lift out that last little part. So, bunch of fucking distorted guitars, and it comes back to the. Same stuff all over again. Except for there, going to that 14, 16 on a G string. I want to say it one more time, and then it kicks back into the chorus, and that's the end of the song, except for the outro. The outro is just in that same pentatonic box. I'm not going to do it, but anyway, you get the idea. Oh, something on the back of the back end here. We're in that doing those chord changes there for the pre-chorus or whatever you like to call it. We'll talk about that little movement right there. I'm going from an E major, 2nd fret of D, 1st fret of G, open B, into an F sharp minor, 4th fret of D, 2nd fret of G, 2nd fret of B. I'm trying to show you this because there's a lot of shit like this, and if you know what I mean? I don't want to say listen intently, but just, I don't say pay attention. That seems like a fucking dick thing to say, but try to be open to recognizing patterns and shit, I guess would be the way to put it. So this one here, that's fucking shit. Now it's 2 notes, 2 frets down, because here we're playing it in E to F sharp, and here we're playing it D to E. End up on that A5, and then take that thing out a little further, and that E minor. Well, if we jump up here an octave, alright, anyway, and another one. Now this ain't quite the same, but it's got that. No, I don't know that song. Pretty confident that's how it goes. Still doing the same thing. It's major shape to a minor E. See, when you're going like that, so that's your E minor. You bring that 5th fret of a D up to 6. It's our major chord. Looks like you have a C major open. And drop it down. Come down to a minor chord. That's